Good day all. The first example of industrial accident in Malaysia that we studied is ammonia gas cylinder explosion in Melaka occurs in March 2011. This incident involves two explosions which occurs at an ammonia gas filling and bottling plant instead of Melaka. It operating more than 20 years. The ammonia usually stored in bulk storage tank. The capacity of the tank is 500 and 900 tons. The stock will be transferred in cylinder later. What was really happened? On the ammonia gas cylinder on that day, the ammonia gas cylinder suddenly exploded in the station. From that explosion, another filled cylinder scattered into surrounding area and caused another explosion and resulted in severe damages to the refilling station roof. Okay, the underlying causes of this accident and the impact and the control measures will be discussed later by my teammates.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to talk about the chronology of ammonia gas cylinder explosion that happened on 8 August 2018 in Melaka. So basically the gas cylinder was stored for 20 years, for more than 20 years. The stored cylinder rolled away and scattered into the surrounding and exploded. This is because the cylinder was stored horizontally. After that, a part of the cylinder head that exploded while ago, it flew to an oil lubricating factory and hit the pipeline system and caused damage. Then, the respective department received a call regarding the accident and they have rushed to the scene. Then, the inspection from Occupational Safety and Health Department released their public report and no injuries to the workers were recorded. Thank you.
Proceeding with the causes of ammonia gas cylinder explosion in Melaka 2011. The plant was actually operating more than 20 years in Melaka. When the suppliers first supplied their raw ammonia material, they were stored in a tank with a large capacity of 500 tons and 900 tons weight. And then they were transferred to these gas cylinders, which were 60 kg, 68 kg and 500 kg of capacity. Moreover, these gas cylinders will be used for more than 20 years old. So the main reason of this ammonia gas cylinder leak is due to transferring or storing the high capacity of ammonia gas into a low capacity of gas cylinders. These gas cylinders are also very old and they could not withstand the internal pressure caused by the large amount of ammonia gases. The third cause of this incident was due to wrong positioning of gas cylinders. As per law, the gas cylinders should be stored in vertical position. However, this plant was storing the gas cylinders in horizontal position. They were also not protected with the proper cagings, and this causes the ammonia gas cylinders to roll around the floor and overturning, and also they were falling around the floor. Besides that, these gas cylinders were not stored under a well-ventilated areas. However, they were stored under the sun in very hot temperature. The increased outdoor temperature causes the internal pressure of the gas cylinder occur, which eventually leads to the explosion and damages to the human property and environment. And due to no proper caging and no proper positioning, the gas cylinder were flung over the places. So these are the causes of this gas cylinder explosion in Melaka 2011.
Now I'm going to explain about the impact of ammonia gas leak explosion. When the explosion occurs, an ammonia cylinder flung off and landed on another factory compound. The explosion caused the cylinder to roll and scatter around the area. Other than that, a part of the cylinder head that exploded from another cylinder flew to an oil lubricant factory and just hit one of the oil pipeline system and caused some minor damage to the pipe insulator. Then one more cylinder flung off to the adjacent building office and damaged the roof of the surround, leaving no injuries and major damages. Besides that, an ammonia cylinder that had been thrown into the filling station exploded. The second explosion caused serious damage to the roof of the gas station. An adjacent cylinder was thrown out and dropped into the storage room, causing serious damage. It was found in the explosive ammonia cylinder was torn in shell apart. Finally, there were no injuries and death reported.
Now I'm going to talk about the control measure. So basically the first one is we should conduct a comprehensive maintenance schedule for the gas cylinder because maintenance is very important. Secondly, gas cylinder should normally start in upright position, or we can call it vertically, and make sure it is firmly hold in a place to prevent it from falling. The third one is workers should be given training, written guidance and information on safe procedure and method of handling gas cylinders that contain dangerous chemicals. Fourth one is ensure that approved or self-contained breathing apparatus are always available and must make sure the workers are using it in a proper way. Always refer MSDS for the gas before the usage. Thank you.
Accident that we studied is fire on chemical bulk storage. A huge fire and explosion involving 2 units of bulk storage tanks took place on 17 August 2018 at terminal located at the south of Malaysia. The bulk storage tanks are used for the storage of petroleum products for export. This is considered as one of the major highlighted fire incident in Malaysia, maybe because of the combination of explosion and fire spreading. Okay, what was really happened? Tank 1, which contained unleaded gasoline (ULG), was reported to be on fire. The fire spread to Tank 2, naphtha, located beside Tank 1 from the Tank 1 actually. This is because of the heavy wind and ensuing flame. During the investigation team focused on the design failure of IFR. IFR, internal flood roof. The other segment will be discussed by my teammates later. Thank you.
The next I'm going to talk about the chronology of fire on chemical bulk storage. It happened on 17 August 2018. Huge fire and explosion involving 2 units of bulk storage tank happened. The storage tank contained petroleum. There were so many tanks involved containing gasoline, naphthalene and some other chemicals. Around 6:40 p.m. in the evening on Sunday, Tank 1 containing unleaded gasoline was first exploded from overheating. Then fire started to spread onto other tanks. On the next day, 7:15 p.m., Tank 2 exploded due to heavy wind. Therefore, the fire spread was even faster. Basically, the overall fire was caused due to the fire triangle. And then the fire was finally put out after 67 hours of effort. No injuries were recorded. Thank you.
Focusing on the causes of fire in chemical bulk storage. There were a total of 6 tanks, and the first tank was containing unleaded gasoline, and the second tank was containing naphtha gas. The primary cause of this fire is due to overheating of the first tank. The overheating is due to the chemical reaction of the flammable gases with oxygen, which the presence of oxygen nearby the gases causes the gases to ignite, which eventually resulted in fire. Moreover, this incident was also happened due to non-compliance of design of bulk storage. The internal floating roof was not designed properly according to the international standard and engineering practices, which eventually causes it to lose its sustainability of Tank 1. Non-compliance of design and lack of maintenance causes the tank to caught fire and explode. Lack of fire safety system in that plant also causes the fire from Tank 1 to spread to Tank 2. And this causes the disaster to be difficult to control. The failure of this fire safety system was due to no frequent testing by the supervisors, causing the fire to not put under control. So the presence of oxygen nearby the gases, the lack of maintenance, non-compliance of design of bulk storage, and also failure of fire safety system causes the fire to not put under control in tank 1, and the fire was then spreaded to tank 2, causes a big disaster in that plant in year 2008. So these are the causes of fire in chemical bulk storage.
Now I am going to tell about the impact of chemical bulk storage explosion. When the first tank exploded on 17th August 2008, the environment became so cloudy of smoke and vapors of unleaded gasoline. The removal work took place by using foam spray by fire rescue department. Apparently they ran out of the firefighting equipment. The next day, due to a heavy wind, the fire ignited and spread to the nearby tank number 2 to ignite from overheating. This incident caused a bigger environmental problem in the area. The fire caused an inferno with billowing black smoke which was visible miles away. It caused the people there to have breathing difficulties and they had to move further away from the area. The smoke was so thick that even the fire rescue department could not see properly. The company had lost 17.8 million liters of unleaded gasoline and 8 million liters of naphthalene. Finally, there was no any major injuries and death due to the chemical bulk storage explosion. Thank you.
The control measure for the accident is the first one, we should conduct a thorough maintenance program for bulk storage regularly. Second, a clear space should be left between the tanks. There must be a space between each tanks. It shouldn't arranged very closely. The third one is workers should use proper PPE while working or operating all the tanks. The fourth one, avoid unauthorized personnel from entering into the highly dangerous area. Thanks.
Now I'm going to talk about related regulation. As we know, both are chemicals and hazardous materials, so both regulation are almost same. So the first is use and standard of exposure chemical hazardous to health regulation 2000 UCHH regulation. The objective of this regulation is to provide a legal framework to control exposure of chemical hazardous to health at workplace. Second, notification of accident, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning and occupational disease, Regulation 2004 NEDOPOD Regulation. This provides further requirement and information on the notification method, procedure and process to be followed by the employer and the medical practitioner in pursuant to the requirement of Act 32 of Section 32 of Act 514, which is OSHA 1994. Third, classification, labeling and safety data sheet of hazardous chemical, Regulation 2030, Class Regulation. The main objective of this regulation is to ensure suppliers of hazardous chemicals provide sufficient information on hazards of chemicals that they supply, so this can mitigate and reduce the risk of accidents happening in the workplace, thus providing a safe and healthy working environment and condition. And last, control of industrial major accident hazard, Regulation 1994, KEMA regulation. The objective of this regulation is to control the risk of technological disaster occurrence due to hazardous material. These 4 regulations is very important so that all of the employee and employees should aware, and this can reduce future risk of the future any disaster or any accident.